Hello, and welcome to the Royal Weekender. If you don't know what the Royal Weekender is, no fears. I have a TBR video where I go over my plans for the month of March, and within that I talk about all the different readathons I'm doing. This is Rachel Marie's readathon, part of the Bookie Trials series, where she is hosting a 48-hour weekender. She has different prompts, challenges. It's really heavily scheduled, and I'm already behind. Rachel's already created tons of fun prompts and challenges leading up to the weekender, but now that the weekender is here, she's starting to release like the major challenges and like the entire point of the weekend. The first thing is to collect all the badges. There are a total of 4 badges, I believe, for Magi. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, just go back to my TBR when I knew what I was talking about. But as of right now, I know that I have a Master Your Craft, which is watch a favorite YouTuber. I have Madison Mary, Princess of Paperback, ready to watch. She has a Witchathon vlog up, so if you'd like to watch what I watched, it is right up there. After that, I have Expansive Lore, and that is to discover a new world. For that, I have Mirage. Mirage is my book for the Bookie Trials, so it's going to cover all of the prompts, apart from watching a booktuber, because you can't watch a booktuber, you're a book. So it also covers Clairvoyance, which is a 5-star prediction. This book is sci-fi fantasy, has a trope I don't read a lot of, which is like a doppelganger body double. This is one I've really only seen when I was watching the Vampire Diaries, and I have pretty high hopes for this book. And then, of course, Magi Might is to read a book with a purple cover. Mirage does indeed have a purple cover, and with that I am set. Now those are just the Magi prompts. There are prompts for everybody, but I don't have that list up, so you're not getting that yet. As of right now, I'm going to watch a favorite YouTuber, and then I'm going to start my purple book with a 5-star prediction. It's about 302 pages. It's really quite small. I'm feeling pretty confident that I can get this book done, and I am not going to stay up the entire 48 hours, but I am going to get pretty dang close, or at least that's currently the game plan at 9 p.m. Just reading through the different things on Twitter, and I realized I missed the scavenger hunt. Well, I didn't miss it, it's still going on. So throughout the weekend, I have time to collect all of these scavenger hunt prompts in order to collect points for my team. I'm feeling really confident about a lot of these, and then other ones, I don't know if I'll be able to find or not, but I'm gonna get as close as I can. Okay, so how the scavenger hunt goes is I have to find different book covers that have these items on them in order to find an elven princess who's like lost in a castle. We're gonna go ahead and not ask questions about that poor elven princess. We're just gonna find these books. It kind of feels like a mini tag, which I do miss tags. I know they feel like they're kind of dead, and I haven't done one in a while. This is me sneaking in a small tag, so that's kind of fun. All right, the first one we have to find is a book. Oh, a book on the cover of a book. Okay, let's see. No, Morgan, you're well read. Why don't you have a book on your cover? Student. Witch Boy. Yes, Witch Boy. For this prompt, I have Witch Boy. Witch Boy is by Molly Knox Ostertag, and he has a book. So there's one win for me. The next item is a feather, and that's actually really easy. I have Crown of Feathers, which is a book about Phoenix, and it's by Nikki Palparetto. Obviously, it has feathers all over it because like that's a phoenix. The next prompt is fruit. Oh. I have a book in my head, but I don't actually own it. So I'm going to check to see if Rachel is accepting digital TBRs, and if so, I am set because I have this book on audiobook and I am very excited to read it. Rachel is saving my skin here, and yes, indeed, you can have a digital TBR. For this challenge, I have With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I loved Elizabeth Acevedo's first book, which was Poet X, and this one has like mangoes or papayas on the front. I don't know my fruit very well, but those are definitely fruit. That's not a vegetable. I'd eat that in a second. And here's some proof that it is indeed on my digital shelf. Okay, next, a key. I immediately know where this one is. The 10,000 Doors of January has a key right here, right here, right here, right here, and a door. Up next is an arrow, and I know just the book I'm going to pick for this. Small spoiler for my library book haul. I have the library book version of We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal, and I know that it's really shiny, but you can see that she has a bow and arrow, and then there's a little arrow even in the text, so we're good. The next one is a mythical mythical creature. I have plenty of dragons behind me, but I'm gonna go with the classic The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. And fun fact, my friend Shelby, also known as Bashful Sketches, made me a plushie version of the unicorn because we both love the cartoon. The next book is Water on the cover. That I have Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller, and on the bottom you can see there are waves. The next object is a shoe. In Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow, you can definitely see that this young boy is wearing shoes. There's no boats. Nothing has a boat. I have no boats. My nautical journey ends here. Okay, I'm skipping boat for now, and I'm going for the gold. King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is a spin-off series in the Grishaverse following Nikolai Lansov, and I absolutely adored it, and it also has a beautiful naked cover. It's getting hot. The next thing is a crown, and my girl Guinevere is always wearing a... This is backwards. My girl Guinevere is always rocking a crown, and she's definitely rocking a crown in the Guinevere's Deception. It's a very pretty crown and a very pretty cover. Throne. Okay, I'm struggling with for throne, so we're going back to mask, sword, and door are the only ones I'm missing. Sword. Where's Alana of Trabond? For sword, I have Alana the First Adventure by Tamara Pierce. She is totally rocking a sword, looking moody and badass, and I absolutely love this series. If you haven't stepped into the Tamara Pierce books, this is the book to start with, and they're fantastic. Okay, this is a stretch, but in My Brother's Husband, you can clearly see behind them, right behind them, that's a door. It's a door, so I win. So the only ones I haven't found so far are Boat, Throne, and Mask. I'm gonna take a break and get some water because my water bottle's empty and kind of cool off a little bit, and then I'll keep an eye out for those. I'm also going to read more of Mirage, so I will get back with you a little bit later, and I'll let you know what I think of Mirage so far. Okay, sorry if you can hear clicking in the background. My partner is playing a video game. I finished the first 3 chapters of Mirage, and it was instantly reminiscent for me of reading like a Star Wars book. Not just because it's a sci-fi, but specifically some of the phrases or words used were something that I've only really heard in Star Wars, or possibly might even be patented. There was Imperial Droid, and Blaster that were used. I'm a very huge Star Wars fan, which doesn't take my enjoyment away from this book. It was just something I immediately observed and wanted to acknowledge. That clicking may get annoying, but you know, that's what you get when you share a space. Apart from that, it felt a little overwhelming in the world building area. I felt like I was learning about this person's family life, religion, backstory, world, universe, imperial family, all at once, and it was just a lot of information. I think I have a small grasp on what's going on, and as long as they build upon that, then I'm fine. I'm okay with some info dumping as long as they remind me about it later. I think the first live show of Saturday is at 1 a.m. my time, so that's my goal. I'm gonna stay up until at least the live show, and I think I'd like to try and get to part 2, which is page 77. So I'm on 23 now, and then I still have the next few days. I'm gonna try really hard not to procrastinate and just focus on this book. Right now, I'm not gonna read Crescent City until this book is done, because if I don't complete this weekender, after all of the bravado I gave Rachel about finally defeating and completing one of her challenge readathon things, then I'll be sufficiently embarrassed. All right, I've done it. I found them all. Okay, the throne one was definitely the hardest. Out of all these freaking books, about half these idiots are on thrones, and yet no thrones. Definitely the hardest one to find, but in my digital copies of Game of Thrones, it has the ugly movie version in which there is a throne. So there is that one done, and I am feeling pretty proud of myself. This next one, I'm not gonna debate with you. It definitely is a boat or a ship, which is just a large boat. Thank you, Sarah from Novel Saran-n-dipity, for getting me this book called Ship of Smoke and Steel, where clearly this woman is on a pirate ship. You can see pirate ship things in the background. If she's not on a ship, there's ships behind her. Boat things are happening here. So I have found that one. And then finally, for a mask, I have Saga Volume 4, and you have this fantastic green mask going on. This is by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This was by Django Wexler, and Game of Thrones is by George R.R. Martin, but everyone knows that, so I'm not holding it back up again. Okay, so I have completed the scavenger hunt. I don't know if I need to take pictures yet, but I have 48 hours. Well, probably more like 42 now. I have several hours to find out, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a break here. I'm going to be editing this vlog as I go, so the only thing I'm gonna do besides reading and weekender type things is edit. So I'll be editing as I go because I'd like to drop this hopefully on the Monday or Tuesday after this is over. We shall see. High expectations. I'm still fresh. It's midnight now, so I have about an hour left. I'm on chapter 7. I took a small break to eat a snack, do some editing to keep up on this vlog. So far, I'm liking it way better than I liked the first 3 chapters. In fact, after chapter 3, I felt like it got really good. Chapter 3 ends on a cliffhanger, and the story pretty much takes off from there. So first 3 chapters, first 20 or so pages, little tiny bit info dumpy. It felt a little bit overwhelming, but there's already been some really good scenes in here. I'm really liking the main character, Amani. At first, I thought she was going to be one of those characters that kind of annoys me, where they don't have like a backbone and they don't stand up for themselves, and that's like what they're learning and growing and figuring out what they're going to do. But that's not the case. Amani can hold her own, and I very much so like her character design so far. This actually is a really beautifully created world. It was just overwhelming at first, but now I have kind of a picture of like what this world looks like, and it's really pretty. The author of this book is actually Moroccan, and you can see all the Moroccan-inspired culture and world inserted into outer space. You have galaxies and technology. It's just really, really pretty. I wasn't expecting that going in. The world building got way richer once I wasn't as overwhelmed by what was happening in the world. I have a very vibrant picture, and I like how things are being described now. I just didn't know what to do with it in the beginning. I'm going to read a little bit more because I'm trying to get to chapter 10. I don't want to give too much of this book away. What I will say, this is a Moroccan-inspired sci-fi fantasy novel which follows our main character Amani, a lower-class citizen in a colonized planet, and this colonized planet has a rebellion. Amani is not part of this rebellion, however, she is kidnapped and taken away to the palace, and there is a doppelganger trope in this as well. I'm really enjoying it so far. Everything I just mentioned is in those first 3 chapters, so feeling pretty safe on that. I'm gonna go refill my water bottle again because I'm actually drinking water. It's happening, guys. I'm drinking and consuming water. I think it's because I have a pretty water bottle. I don't know, but it's working. So I'm going to get some more water, read a little bit more, and then I will touch base after the live show and when I'm going to bed. Good morning. My live show with Rachel is at 2 my time, so hopefully I see you guys there. And I didn't really catch up with you after Rachel's live show last night because I was pretty tired, but I did read until chapter 10 of Mirage. Okay, so some thoughts. I really like the world building in this. In fact, I like most things about this book. The thing is like there's these weird lines or weird moments where I completely disconnect. There'll be moments where there's a statement made and she was strong through this or something like that, and I'm like, I know, I just read the scene. But it feels like it's being summed up in a sentence of like cliche strength. I don't know. All I know is that I did find it a little unusual in some points. It seemed like the statement was really on the nose and explained the scene that I had just read, which I really liked the scene. It just didn't need to be explained after. The other thing that I am not really digging is the dude. She's like totally hitting on this hottie, and it's completely distracting her from what's going on. She was smitten with him a lot faster than I was. I'm like, let's get to know him first. I know he's a handsome guy. We're not paying attention to a lot of things we should because we're real sucked up in this. It's not insta-love, but she's just giving him a lot more credit than I am, and so we're like not matching up at all. My least favorite trope is girl hate. I don't mind if it's challenged or if it starts out like hate to friends type thing, but I am hoping that it's going in that direction because every single time they're like demeaning each other, I'm like, okay, but you know, you both have humanity, right? I don't know. So far, I really enjoyed the book. Those are just some things that stuck out to me as, I wonder if this will continue on and how it will affect my score. I am on, I think it's like page 80 or so, and I'm gonna get some more reading done now, and I'm also gonna look up the challenges for you that aren't mage specific, the everyone challenges, because I should know what they are, and I have definitely forgotten them. Okay, so I'm gonna get some coffee, look up those challenges, and then I'll check back in. Okay, just half a second ago, I did what I was just complaining about the book doing. I went through, I explained all the things I was going to do, and then I summed it up in a sentence. No way. Well, now I'm gonna be hyper aware of it and it's not gonna happen again. Okay, so I figured out what the different prompts were that I had missed, and I'm gonna go over those really quickly. Then I'm gonna get more reading done of Mirage. So we have Oathbreaker, share your TBR. I did that not once, but twice. I did it in my TBR video, and then I also did it on here. Doubling down. Tournament ready. Join a competition. Now, I am going live with Rachel later, and we're doing the archery competition, which I'm incredibly excited for. I love archery, so the fact that I get to be part of the archery competition just completely melted me. But I don't know if I actually get to compete in it or not. Then there's Power Surge, complete a 2-hour sprint, and then the last one is Tome Champion, and that's the only one I had remembered from earlier, which was to complete a book. When I entered it into Goodreads, I was at 25% of Mirage, and I think that's pretty good for like an evening into a book, especially since I had to set down Crescent City in order to fully focus on it, and that was really difficult, which is something I never thought I'd say about a Sarah J. Maas book. I was pretty sure that she was not my thing, but I am enjoying Crescent City. We'll see. If I get through 50% today, then I'll only have 25% for tomorrow, and I'll complete this thing no problem. Or I could try and complete the rest of it today and then read Crescent City tomorrow. Decisions, choices, we'll see what ends up happening. But for right now, I'm just going to finish my coffee, and then I'll read more of Mirage, and we'll see how the story's going, because I can't really force myself to read something I'm not liking. I lose a lot of momentum in not liking something, and it just makes each word so much harder to read. Also, nobody asked, but this is an Arthurian Legend Cup, and I just thought I would come on here and boast about it. It talks about the Pendragon symbol and talks about the dragon itself. I'm pretty proud of it. It was a gift, and a very thoughtful one at that, so figured I would share. All right, I will catch you at some point when I have something interesting to say. Or so. I'm going to save some of this. Gonna set it down for now, since I do have Rachel's live show in about an hour, and I'm sure that she's going to have plenty of reading sprints for us, and I want a book to read while we do it. So for now, I'm gonna set this down, and as I said that, I realized I only have an hour until her live show, and I'm still in my pajamas, and I still look like this. So I'm gonna go remedy that, and then I will catch you after the live.
Competition, but I have read 2.5 books so far, so we're doing okay.
Okay, that was a lot of socializing, but it was a lot of fun. I'll put a link if she still has the quiz up. Was loud. I also got some reading done, which is amazing considering how much we were chatting it up. I was feeling pretty meh about the romantic interest so far, and I read a little bit further, and in the live chat they were telling me that he gets better, and he has gotten a little bit better. Originally, it kind of just felt like he was a piece of cardboard, but a development has occurred. I don't think he's for me, but I am liking him more, and he's more interesting. Thank goodness for that. I'm gonna take a break from reading and interneting altogether because I'm still trying to follow my schedule to a certain extent, and it's 4, so that means it's family time, and I'm still gonna hold that up and get offline for a little bit to get off electronics, and then I'll just reconvene after probably dinner and read some more. I think Rachel's next live show is at midnight. I will be trying to catch that. I really want to get to that 75 mark at least, so I'm going to try and read another 25% by midnight tonight. For some people, that seems like a real baby goal, I know, but I read incredibly slow, so this is a large feat for me if I do complete this book in a weekend, especially since I have a really hard time committing to one book. I get an urge to pick something up, I'll pick it up, and it's really hard for me to just stay hyper-focused on this book. So this has been a challenge for me, and I've been very happy with how well I've completed it. Hey there, so quite a bit of time has passed. It is midnight now. I just entered it into Goodreads, and it says I'm 65% of the way through, so I only need to read about 10% more of this to be at my goal. Luckily, Rachel has a live stream going on right now, so I'm going to use this time to get to the 75-minute mark, and then I am going to bed. I'm going to bed because my hope is that I can wake up early and catch the other live show, which is at 6 a.m., which is not my favorite time to be alive. I am trying to participate as much as I can in this readathon, so sacrifices must be made. They're doing 10-minute sprints, and I'm gonna go ahead and join. You can join too while I montage for like 10 seconds and then tell you what I'm thinking. Yes, fine. So I definitely fell asleep on that Snorlax, and I am moving forward. Going to try and figure out how to edit it. The video literally went on until my camera died because I shuffled off to bed, I don't know how much later, and didn't turn my camera off. So that'll be really fun footage to edit down. The live show is starting. I have read Mirage all through this morning, and I also got the 2-hour reading sprint done from 9 until 11. So I think that was actually the last round of reading sprints. There might be one more. I'm running out of time, and I have gotten quite a bit of this book done. The live show with Rachel and Madison is about to start. It's the Masquerade Ball live show, so I'm wearing my sleeping mask, which also matches Madison's if she actually wears it. So yeah, I'm going to watch the live show, and then I have completed 94% of this book. I'm so close to finishing it, so I'm going to hope that there's sprints during the live show. If there's not, I'm picking this book up immediately after the games are done on the live show because I am going to finish this. I also have been editing as I go, so I might just be able to get this video out on today, Sunday, and that would be amazing. If I don't, we're not surprised, but I'm really going to try and do it. I'm gonna get some reading done and watch the live show, and I will check in with you at the end to give you my star rating. lot. This book was really, really gradual in what I thought about it. Like, it started at like a 3.5 star, worked its way into a 4-star, got to 4.5. I feel like the ending was a 5 overall. Cumulatively, I feel like I have to average this down to like a 4 or 4.5. It was very, very good. I'm really excited because there's a sequel coming out, and apparently this came out a while ago and people have been waiting for the next one, so I don't think that long to wait. There's also like a cover change and I can see like the characters, and it's really great. Yeah, I'm really excited. I read this. It was kind of like the perfect size book, perfect pacing for a readathon. It just all worked out really, really nicely, and that does not happen for me often. I'm gonna take my win. Thank you, Rachel, for throwing on this readathon. It was a heck of a lot of fun, a really great distraction in what should have been too long of a weekend. So yeah, this was absolutely fantastic. The readathon was so much fun, and there was so much creativity and activities going on this entire weekend. I had a great time. I'm gonna end this here. I'm gonna put this out now. So yeah, feeling pretty good about myself. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, and if not, I hope you are at least enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are. And until next time, bye!